I want to talk about this guy called Auston Holleman. Is it Holleman or Holleman? I don't know how you pronounce his surname or his name, but I think it's Auston Holleman. Now, this guy is very crazy. According to my take, he's full of shit. Hello family, how are you? And welcome back to my YouTube channel, guys. Now today, I want to talk about a very uncomfortable topic that I don't like talking about mostly or most of the times. But when I come out and speak about such kind of topics, then I've noticed something is wrong. Now, I want to talk about this guy called Auston Holleman. Is it Holleman or Holleman? I don't know how you pronounce his surname or his name, but I think it's Auston Holleman. Now, this guy is very crazy. According to my take, he's full of shit. And why do I say these things? We as Africans on the continent, we are very happy when we start seeing our fellow brothers and sisters, our aunties and uncles, our mothers and fathers, our grandfathers and grandmothers from the Americas coming to settle on the continent. Now, I've been watching this guy and he has gone overdrive since he went to Romania. This is the same guy who came out and started saying that, he has decided to make Kenya his home. Kenya is cheap. Africa is cheap. African Americans must consider relocating to Kenya and talk to all sorts of things. I'm not Kenyan, I'm African, but I'm not Kenyan. To understand where I'm coming from, I want you to observe what he likes doing. When he visits a country, he appreciates the country, he talks good about the country, he shows nice places about the country. Then when he goes back, he makes a recap video of the country where he went, then he talks crap about the country. He talked some BS about African countries. He talked about BS when he was at Shay Duke Jackson's podcast. He visited some African countries and talked nonsense about African countries. Now, we understand, we know that Africa is not like America. America is advancing infrastructure. America has got a lot of opportunities. America is well developed and stuff like that. We understand, we know all those things. Now, as you are coming to Africa, you need to readjust your mind. You cannot try and compare Africa to the West. The West has been developed through the resources that they continue stealing from our continent, from our countries here in Africa, then developed places like Europe, places like America, places like Canada, and so forth and so on. Now, he made a video where he was bashing Kenyan women, and I couldn't take it anymore. This is the guy who was saying Kenyan women are beautiful, Kenyan women are good, they're respectful, they are cultured. And all of a sudden, he moves out of Kenya, he goes to Romania and talks nonsense about African women and starts appreciating women in Eastern Europe, saying they are better than Africans, they don't demand than Africans, Kenyan women, they'll suck you dry and stuff like that. Dude, if that's the way you feel about Africa, then please remain in Romania or Eastern Europe and date your snow bunnies that you love very much. We know that you guys, you call yourselves passport bros, running away from African American women and trying to find love, but in the actual sense, you're just promoting promiscuity. You're just promoting perversiveness on the continent. So he goes to Romania and starts saying African women this, African women that, and black American men or black men are better off in Eastern Europe when it comes to dating because women are more reserved and more acceptable to black men and all sorts kind of things that doesn't make sense. If you love the white woman so much, why can't you just come out and say, I prefer white women, rather than bashing our queens on the continent? Now, mind you, I am not saying that our queens are saints. No. No, do our queens in the United States or in the Americas, am I saying they are saints? No, they are not. But that is a duty of us as men to align them in the way that we want them to be. I know in America there is this thing of feminist or whatever it's called, I don't care. Or whatever it's called, I don't know. Or whatever it's called, I don't pay much attention to that. But our queens on the continent are very different, are very respectful, are very loving, and are ready to hold a relationship. So these things of you coming like a chameleon, when you're in Africa, you are saying one thing. When you leave a particular country in Africa, you say another thing. Dude, you are a hypocrite. You are full of shit. And I say this with respect. I don't make such kind of videos most of the time. But this one, I felt it right to speak about it. And you as people from the Americas, you are the ones who are supposed to come and bridge the gap between us and people in the diaspora. But you come and you start promoting your own nonsense, which doesn't even make sense. Talking about how Africans hate Americans and how African Americans hate Africans. We don't like each other. Hey, they taught us to hate you guys. They taught us to hate each other. Why can't you be a bigger man and try and find a solution instead of propelling more animosity between the continent and the diaspora? I don't get it. I really do. I don't get it. So, brother man, if you like Western Europe so much and you are changing like a chameleon your views about the continent, today you say the continent is good, it's cheap, it's good for your life, it's good for your health, it's good for your mental stability, it's good for you as a human being. Tomorrow start saying, no, Eastern Europe is good because white women are very much respectful and they are very much wanting to be in relationships with black men. Then in that context, you start bashing our queens. We are not going to take that. So if you love Western Europe so much, please, or Dubai or wherever you want to go, please stay that side. Don't come on the continent, because we don't need people like you who will come here. On the other hand, you're saying this and that. On the other hand, you're saying this and that. We don't need such kind of negativity. You are the people who are supposed to be as an example to others out there. There are a lot of American YouTubers who have come on the continent. Of course, the continent is very much far behind, but you never see them bashing the continent or talking about African women this, Africa this, expensive what. Are you meaning to tell me Africa is more expensive than Europe? Africa is more expensive than America itself? Stop lying, dude. I know maybe you're doing it for views or stuff like that, but in the name, you will not do that using the name of the continent and our African women. If you say African women are this, they demand too much, tell me American women don't demand too much. European women don't demand too much. If you are into the snow bunnies, then please just stick to that and stop talking nonsense about our people, about our queen, about our land, and about our continent. We are for the idea to bridge the gap and unite back as one people. We want the diaspora to come, but if this is the kind of mentality that you want to be exporting and showing others in the Americas, giving them false information, then we don't want that. Today, no, Africa is very good. No, I recommend Kenya. Kenya is very good for African Americans. Kenya is what? Kenya is what? And then the next day, you start bashing the continent, saying it's very expensive. You start bashing the Kenyan women and talking crap about them. Stop being a hypocrite, dude, and man up. That being said, guys, see you in my next one.